I want to encourage you guys not to be afraid of any type of questions that you may have. But do something about your questions. Don't just have doubts, pursue your doubts. Use that as an excuse to stay up late reading the Bible, to see these super hard topics, sometimes even simple topics. But you guys shouldn't be afraid about your doubts. You should be afraid if you aren't doing anything with your doubts. If you have any tough questions, don't worry. God can handle your tough questions. In fact, recently, these past 3 weeks, if you ask anyone who's preparing for like a sermon, they'll tell you that a lot more, it's like a spiritual warfare where a lot more inconveniences come up in your life. That there seems to be like a battle. You're tempted by the things you thought you weren't tempted by anymore, and all these things come up. My fiance and I were getting married in a couple of months, and so we're trying to be very smart about money, and I'm just being very frugal, trying not to spend, not to go out with my friends, save as much money for the wedding. And then I'm like, man, God, like I'm really struggling, can you help with money? Can you do something for me? And then right as I'm thinking that's when the pastor goes up on stage and he asks, hey, everyone, I need you guys to donate $1,000 if you're a member, donate $1,000 for a down payment. And I just remember it was like, dang it. Right on time. I know this is a test for me. And I'm having doubts. I'm like, I have a really good excuse not to give the money. I'm doing good. After we get married, then we can give. We'll probably have a lot of wedding presents, And I was like, you know what? There's a verse in the Bible that says, seek first the kingdom of God and all these things shall be added to you. And I was just I called my fiance. I was like, hey, is it okay if I give the $1,000? You won't be mad or anything. And she says, yeah, okay, do it. And I just went ahead and did it. And I'm not saying that I'm going to receive some blessing from that, from financial blessing. But I know that to me was a very big test that God put it in front of me. It's like, hey, you say you trust me with your finances, but here's this little test for you. And man, that was almost it was poetic how perfectly Pastor Dash went on stage and asked for money right when I was going through this thing about being extra worried about money. And so that was my little doubt thing. And again, I'm just going to drill this word into your guys' head so you can understand it. Doubt is not a bad thing. Doubt is bad when you don't do anything about it, and it leads to a hardness of heart. And it helps us grow. It helps us to then trust God and not have any more doubts about Him, and then we can freely serve Him and go and just evangelize to other people. And if you're sitting here and just yes, I believe, that's great, awesome, I'm happy for you, you have no doubts, I just encourage you, read the book of Mark. Now that after we've gone through the whole sermon series, I'm going through the Gospel of Mark, and I'm noticing all these themes come up that were discussed in the sermons. And to me, I'm questioning myself. It's okay, do I believe this? Do I believe the promises of the Bible, but do I believe all the threats of the Bible? Do I believe all the warnings of the Bible as well? And so if we do believe and we don't have any more doubt, then this following verse is for us. And Jesus said to them, go into all the world and proclaim the gospel to the whole creation. Whoever believes and is baptized will be saved, but whoever does not believe will be condemned.